You know, I was reading something the other day that I haven't been able to shake. It's a fact. A little piece of science that feels more like a secret about the universe. When a caterpillar goes into its chrysalis, it doesn't just grow wings and rearrange itself. It doesn't just become a butterfly. No. The process is so much more violent and so much more beautiful than that. The caterpillar actually digests itself. It releases enzymes that turn its entire body into a soup, a primordial goo. Almost everything it was ceases to be. It becomes a liquid, a nutrient-rich broth of its former self. And in that soup, there are these tiny miraculous things called imaginal discs. They were always there, latent, waiting. And they begin to use that soup, that liquid ruin of a caterpillar, to build something entirely new. A butterfly. It doesn't just change. It has to completely dissolve, to fall apart into utter chaos, before it can become what it was always meant to be. It has to become nothing before it can become everything. And I can't stop thinking about that because it's the perfect, brutal truth that nobody tells you about stories. We love the idea of the hero. We love the final shot, the crown on the head, the hard-won smile, the peace that finally settles on their face. We frame that picture. We want that to be our story. But we skip the pages. We skip the chapters where the hero is soup. We forget that, before the wings, there has to be a dissolution. There has to be a moment or a year or a decade where everything you thought you were just liquefies, where the structure of your life collapses into a formless, painful mess. And we mistake that mess for the end of the story. We think, this is it. I have failed. I am finished. When the truth is, that mess is the absolute non-negotiable prerequisite for your wings. There is no hero who was happy from chapter 1 until the end. It's a lie we tell ourselves because we're living in the middle of the messy part and we're desperately looking for a map that shows us a shortcut out of the darkness. But the map doesn't exist. The darkness is the path. Think about the stories that have lasted for centuries. They aren't about a guy who had a great day, and then another great day, and then a pretty good week, and then he retired comfortably. Nobody would remember that story. It wouldn't be etched into our souls. The stories that change us, the ones we whisper to ourselves when we're lying awake at 3 a.m., are the ones about loss, about being cast out, about a ring that must be carried into the heart of darkness, about a boy who must avenge his father, about a woman who loses everything and has to find her way back home, not to the place she left, but to a person she never knew she could be. Every single one of them starts with a problem, a crack in the foundation of their world. And that crack is never a small, polite little thing. It's a chasm. It's a death. It's a betrayal. It's a weakness they are ashamed of. It's a confusion so thick they can't see their own hand in front of their face. It is suffering. Pure, unadulterated, soul-grinding suffering. And that suffering is not a mistake in the narrative. It is the narrative. It is the engine of the plot. It is the fire that forges the steel. The early chapters are always dark. They have to be. A seed does not grow by staying in the light. It grows by being buried, by being surrounded on all sides by the crushing, dark, damp weight of the soil. It pushes against that resistance. It cracks its own shell open in the darkness. It sends out roots, not towards the sun, but deeper into the black, searching for purchase, for stability, for water in the dirt. All of its early work, the most vital work, is done where no one can see it, in the cold and the dark. If you dug it up after a week to check on it, you'd see a pale, fragile little sprout and you might think, this is pathetic. It's not going to make it. It's so weak. And you'd be right, it is weak. But you'd be missing the point entirely. Its weakness in that moment is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of a brutal, necessary process. It is gathering strength in secret. It is building a foundation in the underworld. The darkness is what creates the growth. There is no other way. If a character started happy and stayed happy, There'd be no story. There'd be no transformation. They would just be a photograph, a static, flat image, a statue. And a statue doesn't breathe. It doesn't love. It doesn't feel the wind on its skin or the profound ache of a heart that is learning how to beat again after being broken. A statue is safe. It never risks anything. It never has to face the storm. And because of that, it never knows what it's made of. It never discovers that it can bend without breaking. It never gets to experience the staggering relief of sunrise after the longest night of its life. Struggle is what shapes someone into a hero. It's the chisel and the hammer. It's the resistance against the muscle. You don't get strong by lifting feathers. You get strong by lifting weights that feel, in the moment, like they might crush you. The burn in your muscles, the tremor in your arms, the gasp for air. That isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you are actively, physically, in the process of building something new inside of you. The struggle is the signal. It's the proof that you are in the arena and not in the stands. And the arena is messy. It's bloody. It's full of dust and sweat and the sound of your own ragged breathing. But it's the only place where a hero is ever made. And this is what I need you to hear right now, in this moment, with whatever weight is sitting on your chest. Your difficulties today, this very second. The thing that feels like it's going to break you. That might just be your first chapter. It is almost certainly not your final chapter. You are reading the setup, the inciting incident, the call to adventure that you never wanted. You are in the part of the story where the character is still refusing the call. Where they are saying, "No, not me. I can't do this. This is too much." That is a normal chapter. It is a necessary chapter. It's the chapter that makes the eventual yes so powerful. You are in the dissolution stage. You are the caterpillar soup. And it feels horrific. It feels like death. Because in a way, it is. It is the death of who you were. But who you were was never built to carry the weight of who you are meant to become. People quit early because they mistake the beginning for the whole story. They read the first few pages, the ones filled with conflict and fear and uncertainty, and they close the book. They think, well, this is a terrible story. It's just pain and confusion. I don't want to read any more of this. And they put it down. They walk away. They settle for a smaller life, a quieter life, a life that doesn't have these terrifying lows, but also, and this is the crucial part, a life that will never, ever have the corresponding highs. They choose the safety of the shore and never know the terror and the glory of sailing across the ocean, of navigating by the stars, of surviving the storm, and seeing a new continent rise on the horizon. They quit during the liquefaction, never knowing that the imaginal discs were just starting to stir. The hero becomes great for one reason, and one reason only. It's not because they were the smartest. It's not because they were the strongest from the beginning. It's not because they were chosen by a wizard or born with a special mark. It's because they endure. They keep going. When every instinct in their body is screaming at them to stop, to lie down, to give up, they take one more step, then another, then another. They fall, and they get up. They get lost, and they find a new path. They fail, and they learn what not to do next time. Their greatness is forged in the simple, brutal, unglamorous act of persistence. It is the quiet decision you make in the shower in the morning, when the weight of everything is pressing down on you, and you just decide to try again. Your story is still being written. This is so important. The pen is still in your hand. The page is not yet full. The hard moments, the moments that feel like endings, are part of the arc. They are the turning points. They are the plot twists. They are not the final sentence. They are the semicolon. The story continues after them. The heartbreak is a chapter, not the whole book. The financial ruin is a chapter, not the whole book. The failure, the rejection, the illness, the loss. These are all chapters. They are dark, difficult, painful chapters. They are chapters you would never choose to read again. But they are not the final word. They are the crucible. They are the soil. They are the chrysalis. You have to start seeing your life as a narrative. You are the author and the main character. And a good author knows that you can't have a compelling third act without a devastating second act. You can't have a resurrection without a crucifixion. You can't have a return home without a long, perilous journey. The value of the prize is directly proportional to the difficulty of the quest. So if your quest feels impossible right now, if the dragon you're facing seems too big to slay, if the mountain seems too high to climb, take it as a sign. Not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but a sign that the destination is worth the journey. The size of the obstacle is a testament to the strength you are being asked to cultivate. I want you to think about a river. A river is powerful. It can carve canyons out of solid rock. It can generate electricity for entire cities. It is a force of nature. But how does it become that? It starts as rain on a mountain. It's just scattered drops. Then, it becomes a trickle, a tiny, insignificant stream that you could step over. That stream flows downhill. It doesn't have a choice. Gravity pulls it, and on its way down, it encounters everything. It hits rocks, big, immovable rocks. It doesn't stop and say, well, that's it, I guess I can't go any further. No, dite. It goes around. It goes over. It goes under. It wears the rock down, particle by particle, over centuries. It gets squeezed through narrow gorges, which makes it move faster, become more focused. It collects other streams, other tributaries, which add to its power. Every single obstacle, every narrow passage, every rock that seems to block its path, is what actually makes it stronger. Without the resistance, it would just be a stagnant puddle on top of the mountain. The obstacles are what give it its direction, its force, its identity. You are that river. The rocks in your path are not stopping you. They are directing you. They are focusing you. They are making you more powerful. Let the current of your purpose pull you forward, and trust that every single obstacle is secretly shaping you into a force that can carve a canyon. So what do you do when you're in the soup? When you're the caterpillar dissolving in the dark? You wait. You endure. You trust the process that you cannot see. You have faith in the imaginal discs of your own spirit. Those tiny, latent, powerful parts of you that know how to build a butterfly. You focus on the next right thing, just the next one. You don't have to see the whole path. You just have to see the next step. And you take it. This is your call to adventure. It's not a trumpet blast from a castle wall. It's the quiet, desperate whisper of your own heart telling you that there has to be more than this. It's the ache for a life that is truer, deeper, more aligned with who you really are. And the only way to answer that call is to walk into the darkness, to accept the quest, to pick up the burden, to start the journey, even though you are terrified, even though you are not ready, even though you feel completely unqualified. Your story is not over. Your best chapters are very likely ahead of you, and they are only possible because of the difficult chapters you are living through right now. The hero never knows they are the hero until they look back and see the trail they've blazed, the dragons they've slain, the mountains they've climbed. From the middle of the journey, it just feels like a mess. It feels like you're lost, but you're not lost. You're exactly where you need to be to become the person you are meant to become. So keep going. Please, just keep going. Endure this chapter. Write it with your courage and your tears. Feel the dissolution and have faith, even a tiny, flickering, almost extinguished faith that something is being built in the silence and the dark. Your wings are coming. The dawn always follows the night. Your story is still being written. Make it a great one.